yet to meet the valuation of Leicester City for a player who Arteta is dying to get, who goes by the names of James Maddison. They are welcome to the Football News Top 10s and Lifestyle Zone. Guys, how are you and where are you watching it from? This is Rokani David onto the Football News Top 10s and Lifestyle Zones. In there, I think this week we are going to do a lifestyle video of Cristiano Ronaldo's lifestyle net worth in there, and maybe some 10 things, expensive things that he owns, maybe will come through onto this channel. And I'm compiling a video of a top 10 Arsenal players that have scored on their debut in there, inspired by Nuno Tavares, who scored on his debut for Arsenal in the game against Rangers. That was the second friendly of a team which goes by names of Arsenal when they played a team which goes by names of Rangers away in Scotland. Now, all of Arsenal people want to hear this, and it looks like Arsenal are really lingering. They are really hanging onto this deal, and they want it to happen. They want it to happen, but we don't know when it's going to happen. We cannot really give you a guarantee that maybe next week or the other week or when, but all I want to let you know is that Arsenal are eagerly want to land the James Maddison transfer in there too, from a team which goes by the names of Leicester. They want to pursue him to a team which goes by the names of Arsenal, though Leicester City is willing to sell, but Arsenal is the problem. Arsenal is really crawling. It's like it's snailing. You know what snake comes from, the word snail. Arsenal is snailing to get this deal done, because Leicester has come out and told them that this is the player you want. Arsenal saying yes, and they told him, can you get us the money that we want? Because Leicester is reported to be wanting over £60 million in there. And one thing that you guys should know is there is something that really brought in a twist into this deal, and you never know. Anytime from now, you might hear a team which goes by the names of Leicester City increasing its money for a man who goes by the names of James Maddison. Do you know the reason? The reason is Jack Grealish in there. When you look at Jack Grealish is 25 years. Yes, he's 25 years. And when you look at his assists in there and goals, I think there is no difference between James Maddison and Jack Grealish in there as far as creating and scoring goals. Because when you look at James Maddison in there, James Maddison last season at Leicester City, he played close to 30, how many games? He played close to 30. He played close to 30. These are 39 games, almost 40, and he scored 10 goals and some good number of assists in there, close to 10 assists. So it shows you that Jack Grealish and James Maddison isn't no difference in there. There is no big difference in between those two players as you see them play for different teams in there. So to me, I think Leicester City are really sitting back and asking themselves, if I told James Maddison, if I told Jack Grealish was sold at £100 million, and there is no big difference between Jack Grealish and James Maddison, why should Arsenal get us 70? Why don't we also reach up to 80 or 90? There's no expect anytime from now that Leicester City have really hiked up the price of James Maddison, because the transfer of Jack Grealish from Aston Villa to a team which goes by names of Man City have really set a ceiling on how much Maddison can really be valued in there. Though they turned down £70 million last year, it's the same amount of money that they want in there. And Chris Whitley, a man who reports for an Arsenal correspondent on a website which goes by the names of Arsenal or footballlondon.com, reporting to that column of Arsenal in there, has come out and said that Arsenal are still somewhere apart from Leicester's valuation of James Maddison, with the club determined to bring in a backup goalkeeper and creative midfielder before the transfer window closes. Football London understands in there. So it is now well situated out there that Arsenal really want to bring up a backup goalkeeper and a central attacking midfielder in there. And the central attacking midfielder I think they're targeting is none other than James Maddison. Because when you look at how Arsenal plays, I think they lack Maddison. A quality of Maddison is needed at Arsenal, and Arsenal really provide Maddison a very good playing environment. Yeah, that's what I think. Football London revealed last month that the Gunners boss Mikel Arteta is an admirer of Maddison and will target him this summer, with a source close to Maddison confirming that the 24-year-old is at the top of the list of the Arsenal in the summer transfer window. Can you imagine? That does not surprise me that James Maddison is really on the top list of the top priority on the list of players that Arsenal want, because even last summer Arsenal went to Leicester City and gave them £73 million, and Leicester City said we are not selling James Maddison in there because they had not prepared themselves well. And now when Leicester City heard that Arsenal can really raise the money that we want, what did they do? They went in and brought in a player who goes by the name of Soumare. Soumare is like a box-to-box midfielder. He can play as a CDM, he can do the attacking role very well, and he's a giant, and he's been linked to, he's been referred to as the new Paul Pogba in there, even though he has not yet lived to that level in there. But Soumare was brought in because Leicester was preparing for life after James Maddison in there. So I think Leicester know that James Maddison will one day leave, because when you look at James Maddison, close to 4 teams wanted his signature. One of those I knew, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Man City. Those 3 were really dying to get the signature of a man who goes by the names of James Maddison last summer in there. Now that sent an indicator to Leicester City. What they did was give James Maddison a huge contract. More 4 years were given to him. He's 24 years. 4 years were added to his contract, and he's earning £110,000 a week in there. You get? So Leicester City knew that next summer, if at all you don't give Maddison a very huge contract, he won't really get the best. We won't really get the best out of him, because anytime from now he can leave. And his price, the reason as to why James Maddison's price is at 60 to 70 million pounds is that he is young. Secondly, he has a very big contract in there with the team, which goes by the names of Leicester City. So those are the 2 things that Leicester did, and that means Leicester knows that Maddison anytime from now will leave. But what is delaying the deal is that Arsenal is really not having the money. That's why they've put up close to 5 players for sale, and the first one has gone, who goes by names of Joe Willock in there. Joe Willock is going to Newcastle, £25 million have been confirmed. That deal is confirmed in there. And now Arsenal are trading very many other players. There is Reece Nelson, there is Nketiah. I've heard also Nketiah has been added to the selling list. There is Maitland Niles, Kolasinac, and Torreira. Now those are 5 players that Arsenal have put up for sale. That is Maitland Niles, Reece Nelson, Nketiah, Kolasinac, and Torreira. When you look at those 5 players, Arsenal can gather, if well sold, Arsenal can gather close to £100 million in there. So it shows you that Arsenal can really sell off a player, can really buy off a player who goes by names of James Maddison at like £60 million or 70, and they can be left with 40 or 30 to get in a Tammy Abraham, or a striker that they want, or a CDM that Arsenal wants in there. So it really looks like Arsenal are really counting very well. They want James Maddison. That's why the title is, that's why I've told you when I'm bringing this video, when I'm really starting it, that the title reads, Arsenal yet to reach Leicester's James Maddison valuation as Brendan Rodgers' eyes replacement in there. So it shows you that this deal is going to happen, but it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of Arsenal getting Leicester City the amount of money that they want. Because Arsenal wanted to give them the 3 players and add some money. Leicester said, no, what we want money for this man. Now, Chris Whitley continues and says that Football London has been told that negotiations are very slow and like a game of chess, but Maddison remains keen on a move to North London. So it shows you that even James Maddison is really sticking and wants this deal to come to a happening at a team which goes by names of Arsenal. Because, guys, I told you, leave alone these things of positioning, that Leicester City for the previous seasons has been completing the season ahead of Arsenal or above of Arsenal on the Premier League table. That does not take away the legacy that Arsenal has. That does not take away the attachment you get to the fans of Arsenal. It does not take away that Arsenal has been here for so long. Arsenal has very many Premier League trophies in there. Arsenal is a brand. Arsenal is a bigger brand than Leicester City, and Leicester really has to do a lot. Arsenal has a lot of pedigree in there. And guys, if at all you really want to know the level of history, how expensive history is, you go to these people that sell data. You know, a man can go in and make a good research in there for like 2 years and then brings out data that no one has yet brought on, and it's ancient in there, and they're paid out expensively. So being attached to the history of Arsenal in there, and Maddison looks like, because to me I think Arsenal is like 3 players away from really trying to compete or competing with Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City. And those players are a CDM, a central attacking midfielder, and a forward in there. Because to me, I think the reasons why I say forward is that Aubameyang and Lacazette have not shown us that they are good enough. Aubameyang, for the first seasons when he came in, he was really good, but later he stalled in there. He's like stagnant water. He's not moving. He's not moving, and when you don't move, you know what happens? That's when you become a breeding ground for mosquitoes in there. So to me, I think Aubameyang is stale. Lacazette, same thing too. That's why today I've read an article of Martinelli, people painting out Martinelli that this must be his bust out season, because they've seen that this is his most clear season for him to make his announcement onto the world market, on the football world market, that I've come and I'm here to stay. I've not come here to joke. So to me, that's what I think, that Arsenal is really known at the level of Manchester United, Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. Yet, why? You can't be having your top strikers like Aubameyang. He comes on the pitch and it's like a tourist. You get? Yet he earns close to £375,000 a week. Imagine your highly best paid player at Arsenal doing what Aubameyang is doing. Remember Mesut Ozil? Mesut Ozil, at least for him, whenever he came to the pitch, he would deliver, because he got in assists, he got in those goals sometimes in there. And his role, the reason as to why Mikel Arteta fell out with Mesut Ozil is, first and foremost, the salary that Mesut Ozil was earning was too much, £300,000 a week by then. He had just signed a new contract, and he had only moved on 2 years, and he had like 3 years left on his contract. Secondly, Arteta saw that the type of game he wants to play does not need a player who is as lazy as Ozil and is not as hardworking as Ozil in there, because Ozil is not a hardworking player. His aim in the pitch, just get him the ball and the rest leave it to him. For that, he won't lose that ball. But however much he was very good at maintaining that ball, holding it and holding up the play, Arteta really saw to it that he cannot fit into his system, and they fell out like that, because Arteta told him, if at all you're going to play for my team, you really need to put in a lot of energy to play for me. If at all you are not going to do that, we are cancelling that out. That's not going to be business in there. So that's what Arteta really came out and told the man who goes by names of Mesut Ozil, and they fell out with him. So Arteta needs a CDM, a CAM, or a central attacking midfielder like Maddison, who is all over the pitch. He will chase left, right, and center. When he gets the ball, he will pass, and he does not only walk on the field and louse around, because Mesut Ozil, whenever he never had the ball, he used to louse around. His importance was, when the team gets the ball, give it to Mesut Ozil. So I think Arteta, really the reason as to why he wants James Maddison, because James Maddison's work rate is good. He does not laze around the pitch in there, and lots of things to talk about James Maddison are really endless, because you guys have seen James Maddison ever since he came in from Coventry to Norwich, and from Norwich City he joined a team which goes by names of Leicester at £18 million in there, and now he is valued close to £70 million in there. So Leicester is making good money. And we know Leicester is really a good team. Yes, but not at the level of Arsenal. And James Maddison looks like he wants to come and play in North London for a team which goes by names of Arsenal. By the way, that's also a very good factor to note about, because it's different from a team wanting a player and a player not wanting to come. You get? And it's different. It's always good to see to it that the player that you want to sign also wants to play for a team which goes by names of Arsenal. And by the time really Arsenal made their strike at a team which goes by the names of Leicester City and told them that we're wanting James Maddison, and they've put in a broker ready on the AFC Bell, the broker is really trying to negotiate this deal to see whether James Maddison is up for sale. But the fact is, James Maddison is up for sale. If at all any team comes up with £60 million, they're going to get James Maddison in there, and on that fee in there, that is what Arsenal Football London has come out and said through their mouthpiece, who goes by the names of Chris Whitley. Now, the major sticking point for Arsenal, however, is Leicester's demands of over £60 million for the former Norwich and Coventry midfielder. Now, this is what baffles me. You can't tell me that Arsenal that went and bought Ben White at £50 million, and they're complaining at a man who goes by names of James Maddison to be at 60, because in this market, a forward is really more expensive than a defender. You get? if you can get a defender at 50 million pounds, then don't complain if at all they've told you that James Maddison is 60 million pounds, because the more you complain, it's like you're looking weird into us, because we know that James Maddison is even more than that, because if Jack Grealish was valued at 100 million pounds, that means they can even say, if at all you don't have 100 million pounds, you're not going to take a player who goes by names of James Maddison here. Because for me, I believe, according to me, James Maddison is better than Jack Grealish. To me, that's my opinion. James Maddison is better than Jack Grealish in there. So I think Arsenal should get out of this, that 60 million pounds for James Maddison is huge. You can't tell me that 60 million pounds for Maddison is big or huge, yet you've paid 50 for a defender. You get? And in the world, you know that midfielders, all forward players, are more expensive than defenders in there, and at a quality, and getting the quality of James Maddison. By the way, James Maddison has the quality. His touch is okay. He's free kick specialist. He has a good long ball on him. He has a shot. You get? So he's 24 years of age. So I think this is an ideal signing Arsenal should really make, and I think let them not take their time to even think about it. Arsenal should break the bank and really get this player. Then after getting this player, they can really sell off these players and they really get them back. By the way, in business, I know it's possible. You tell the bank, get us a loan of 60 million pounds, and now we are having 4 or 5 players that are up on market, and the agents are really negotiating a deal, but have not yet agreed on the number of fees that we want. And then you can do business, because Maddison coming at Arsenal early enough, the bait of a team which goes by names of Arsenal, and the more he delays to come, the worse for a team which goes by names of Arsenal. So to me, I think Arsenal should do anything to get in James Maddison, because they badly need him. And Chris Whitley continued and said that, and it's understood that technical director Edu is exploring cheaper options in the market. Can you hear? But this is a lie, because if at all they were expiring for cheaper options in there, they would have really gone for a player who goes by names of Awa, because Awa is at 25 million euros. And like for 3 weeks now, I've not heard any stories talking about Awa in there. I don't know who silenced the story. I don't know what's wrong, but Awa is really a good player, and why haven't they gone for him? That means it shows you that Arsenal really want a player who goes by names of James Maddison. They don't want something that acts as James Maddison. They want James Maddison himself, the original. The Gunners sounded out the positivity of signing Maddison by offering different players. Yes, I told you that they offered those different players, and they really said that we are not really up to here. Now, Leicester City's manager, who goes by names of Brendan Rodgers, has maintained that Maddison is happy at the King Power Stadium, but refused to rule out a possible exit this summer. That's what the manager really came out and said. So let me show you this in his own words. Now, you see, managers really come out and really convince us. I look at a manager of a team which goes by names of Spurs, Nuno Espirito, coming out and really talking like that about Harry Kane, but he also knows deep inside his heart that Harry Kane is not going to be he's not going to be a Tottenham Hotspur player if at all anyone comes up with the money, and Man City are cooking it up. So to me, I think they shouldn't lie. The fact is, Brendan Rodgers didn't rule out a room for Maddison to leave, and this is what he's saying. I know he's very happy here and he wants to be here, said Rodgers. If anything comes to the club, John Rudikin, the football director, would tell me straight away and I'll deal with it. But there has been nothing that's come my way. I've not been told anything to say. He is happy training and he's working hard, and he's a talented, important member of the squad. He has his season disrupted by injury last year, but hopefully this season he can show what a real top player he is in there. Now, that is what the manager of Leicester came out and said, because he said, you read this very well. If anything comes to the club, the football director will tell me straight away and I will deal with it then. But there has been nothing to come away. So he didn't rule out that James Maddison won't leave a team which goes by names of Leicester. And he said that he's happy with the club. But he said if at all anything comes up, the football director will come and tell me, and then I'll get done in there and get to see what to do. So I tell you, James Maddison to Arsenal, if at all Arsenal gets the money, will happen. The problem is Arsenal is lagging this deal behind. That's it. Arsenal is lagging this deal behind because they feel like a £60 million valuation for James Maddison is not at the level, or it's not realistic. But James Maddison. At how much does Arsenal want to get James Maddison? After paying £50 million for a man who goes by names of Ben White, and then you come up and say that James Maddison is not worth £60 million. How much do you want to offer the team which goes by names of Leicester? Guys, go into the comment section and tell me what you think about this story, because Arsenal looks like they really want to bargain and bargain and bargain. It looks like Arsene Wenger really left his bargaining syndrome and economic syndrome at Arsenal in there, and it's affecting them. But what do you think about Arsenal yet to reach Leicester City's Arsenal yet to reach James Maddison's valuation of Leicester in there? I don't know what you guys think about this story. Feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what you think about this story. This is Rokani David, aka to this channel. I'm out for now. See you later. Good news is that the channel is monetized. You can buy super chats and support us through the live chat in there. Thank you guys for watching again. I'm signing out. 5 fingers out to you all. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.